I waited nearly 3 years to watch this movie, and I finally saw it. There's only one question left. Was it worth it? Welcome to Creepin' It Real. Thanks for joining me. We're talking about 2023's The Deep Dark. This is a French film. I saw this screenshot that was floating around, I think on Instagram. It intrigued me so much that I instantly set out on a digital search for what this movie was and where I could watch it. Finding the name wasn't too difficult, but finding a place to watch it, that is where the trick was. Every time I looked it up, Google would tell me, oh, Prime has got it. Fantastic. But guess what? It wasn't available in our region. Every time I'd look, I could never find it anywhere legitimate to watch. Then one day, I'm scrolling through Prime's new movies. It's finally here in the States. So I slapped down my $4 and I sat down and I watched this movie. This follows a group of miners that are forced to take a professor down into the mines. This professor is there to try to find proof of ancient civilization. Problem is, they don't just find proof. They find an ancient, monstrous god that feeds on the flesh of men and only has one desire: make it to the surface so that it can help usher in an even greater evil. Now, when they show pictures of this greater evil, you get the sense that this definitely has some Lovecraftian connections in it, but they only touch on that very briefly. For those of you who have watched me in the past, you might have heard me say that monster movies are my thing. And on top of that, when a horror movie is a period piece, or foreign, it helps me disconnect from my daily life and really become immersed. And this movie gives me all three of those. Now, the film actually starts in 1856, where everything starts going. Then we do a 100-year jump to 1956. Now, this film was filmed beautifully. I mean, being in the mines, you really felt like you were down there breathing in the dust, fear of dying of gases or having a collapse on you. And the acting was pretty good from what I could tell. Now, I can't speak French, so maybe they were delivering their lines really badly, and I will never know. But I gotta say, the overall look of this film was quite good. Now, the creature in this movie was all practical from what I know, and that always gets big points from me. And the design had some very interesting aspects, but it didn't quite hold the beauty or stunning awe that other classic creatures like the xenomorphs or the Predator or even Pumpkinhead had. And when it moved, it was a bit clunky. It wasn't fluid, it was a little jerky in its motion, and that drew me out a little bit. This movie also occasionally goes into a POV or shaky cam mode. And when it does that, it has a found footage feel, and I'm not a big fan of found footage, so I definitely could have done without that. So those are my biggest gripes. But there are other few gimmicks used from other movies, like the flash of a camera used to slowly show the reveal of the monster as it moves through the tunnels. Or the classic moment when one person in the group thinks that they can communicate with the monster and have a bond with it. Suddenly this monster is just gonna sit down and have a nice little cup of tea and a chat with this guy. So stupid decisions from some characters was definitely a drawback. I don't know who in their right mind is gonna see this creature and think that you can just go walk up to it after it already murdered 3 of your crew and your horse. Seems like a great idea. Let's go hug him. Despite that this movie did have several things that bothered me, I did quite enjoy it, and I'm gonna land at a 5.5 out of 10 for this film. Had I not had to actually pay money to rent it and it came free with one of the services I was already paying for, it could have reached a 6. As it stands, I'd give this a mild recommend. However, if it does show up for free in one of the services you've already got, or you can pick it up at the library, I would definitely give it a high recommend for a one-time watch. Now, my question to you is, what movie had you been looking forward to for several years, and then when you finally got to sit down and watch it was just a total disappointment? Leave those movies in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, but just so you know, this movie was not a total disappointment. It was well filmed, well acted. I loved the practical effects, even if they weren't completely fluid and they were a little jerky. Again, mild recommend if you're renting it. High recommend if you can get it for free. Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're a champion. You get a gold star. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm Judah. This has been Creepin' It Real, and I'll talk to you later.